Hello students and welcome to my new video. In this video I am going to explain you prejudice and discrimination. The previous chapter was diversity, and while studying that chapter diversity you saw our country India is a country which is full of surprises. There is a great diversity in almost every aspect of human life. We often come across people who look different from us, speak different languages, wear different types of clothes, and have different food habits, etc. Their opinions, attitudes, and thoughts may also be very different. As a result, we find them very strange and unfamiliar. And what it results in? It results in that instead of understanding them properly, we usually form a negative opinion about them, which results in building up certain prejudices. Now, what is this prejudice? Prejudice means judging other people in a negative way or thinking them as inferiors. One can be prejudiced against others' religion, skin color, way of dressing, food, language, etc. And these prejudices prevent us from getting close to each other, and such negative attitudes or opinions, when expressed against an individual or a group belonging to a particular religion, race, or nationality, are bound to hurt their feelings. So, this prejudice should be avoided in any case, and we should try to first of all understand the people who are different from us. Prejudice or preconceived idea leads to the creation of stereotype. What is stereotype? When we generalize all people of a particular group into one image, we create a stereotype. We often hear statements like girls cry easily, villagers are very simple and city folks are cunning, people who speak English are superior, boys are good at games and girls are good in household, and so on. These are what? These are stereotype feelings that they have created a fixed image about some certain group of people or about an individual. So thus stereotype can have a very damaging impact, as they do not allow us to do justice with an individual because we ignore their skills and unique qualities. Prejudice and stereotypes lead to discrimination and denial of equal opportunities to people. Now, what is discrimination? Discrimination means to differentiate people on the basis of their class, race, gender, religion, economic background, etc., in spite of an individual's skill and qualification. It leads to the backwardness and the creation of conditions whereby certain people fail to lead a life of dignity and respect. Thus, discrimination can take place on the basis of religion, race, caste, and gender. In the past, many social evils crept in the erstwhile Indian society, and some of these evils are still prevalent and causing a great damage to the society as a whole. Many of the social evils that were present in the Indian society has been uprooted by the efforts of the people and by the efforts of the government also. For example, in the past the people have a system of people of India were following a system of sati, and in that particular system, a woman has to sit on the pyre of her husband after death. That was a very inhuman practice practiced in the ancient India, but by the efforts of Raja Ram Mohan Rai and with the help of the British government at that time, it was completely now eradicated from our country. So many evils were there. You will come to know about this in the coming classes, but the most important evil that was coming from the past to the present Indian society is the caste system. Caste system prevailing in India can be one such evil that evolved in the past but is still playing a very divisive role in the society. So let us study this caste system, its origin, and the effect of caste system on the Indian society. First of all, the origin of the caste system. The origins of caste system in India can be traced back to the ancient times in the later Vedic age, whereby society was divided into four varnas or occupational group. These four varnas were Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. This particular division was a division based on labor and power in the society. The Brahmins were expected to perform rituals, worship, and educate the people, and the Kshatriyas practiced warfare and defended the country. The Vaisyas carried trade, and the Sudras did menial work. Menial work like the cleaning of garbages and also the dirts of the society. Okay, so Sudras did menial work and served the other three varnas. With the passage of time, the caste system became rigid and hereditary. Means earlier it was based on occupation, but now today if any person belongs to some certain caste, it's simply because of the accident of birth. As a result, it overlooked a person's potential and enterprise and denied opportunity to the competent men. As a result, it divided the nation. The most miserable condition was of the Sudras. Sudras were at the bottom of the caste hierarchy and were termed untouchables. They were forced to live on account of their birth in low caste, that is Sudras, and they lived on the outskirts of the village. They were not allowed to draw water from the village well and were also excluded from participating in the religious affairs. They were considered as outcasts, deprived of education, job opportunities, and all avenues of progress as well as the social status in society. So they gradually became the marginalized section of the society, means their condition turned very miserable. They did not had any access to jobs, they did not have any access to education, and their life turned as a hell because poverty was prevailing in the all walks of their life. Fortunately, after the independence of our country, the caste system has been steadily losing its importance, and the credit for this goes to the leaders of our country who wrote the Constitution of India, and also because of the efforts of some of the social reformers who played a very vital role in the eradication of some of the social evils that were prevalent in our country. You can take the example of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, when he was struggling for the independence of our country, he has announced that Swaraj would not come for 100 years if there will be disparity in the society and the people will be segregated on the name of their different caste and religion. So in order to bring those marginalized communities into the mainstream of life, he himself lived in the areas of Dalits, ate with them, cleaned the areas with them, and even also washed dishes, and also even he washed the toilets, so that they should not feel that they are belonging to some different class and they are also a part of the mainstream of life. So, but the most important work was done by the leaders who had created who had wrote the constitution of our country, India. Now, what is a constitution? A constitution is a set of principles which clearly tells us the duties of the government and by which the government will run the country. The leaders who wrote our constitution were concerned about the different inequalities that existed in India. Hence, our leaders set out reach the goals of equality for all independent Indians in the long run. In order to protect this diversity and to show respect to India's diverse social group, the Constitution has given us some fundamental rights, and they are called fundamental rights because they have been granted to us from birth and they cannot be taken away from us without any legal process. And these fundamental rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. According to the right to equality, we all are equal before the law of country, though we are divided on the basis or on the name of caste, religion, language, etc., etc. But in the law, in the eyes of law, we all are equal, and for any type of thing, equal treatment will be given by the government. Another is right to freedom. We are free to live in any part of our country. We are free to take up any jobs. We are free to set up our business in any part of country, which was earlier forbidden. We were not allowed, okay, in the same part of our country during the British rule. Then again, right against exploitation. This right prevents the minor children to be employed in the hazardous area like mining areas, factories, etc. And another right that we have been granted is right to freedom of religion. In this particular right, the people belonging to the different language group or different religious group, they have been given chance to protect and promote their religion and language, and for this purpose they can open up their institutional organizations, so that the people belonging to their religious group or the language group, okay, they can extend and develop their language and religion. We have been also given the cultural and educational rights, and also the right to constitutional remedies. This is one of the most important right we have been granted to us, that according to this right, if we see that anyhow our right is being denied or has been violated by any of our fellow citizen of our country or any of the member of our society, then we can approach the courts. Now I am going to tell you about some of the articles that are embedded in our constitution which tries to bring about equality in the society. First of all is Article 14. Article 14 of the constitution guarantees to every person equality before the law and the equal protection of law within the territory of India. Then under Article 15, the constitution does not allow any discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Article 16 of the constitution provides equality of opportunities to all citizens in the matters of public employment, and it gives power to the state to make provisions for disadvantaged groups, and reservations can be made for women, children, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward classes, minorities and the physically challenged people. Then another article which tries to bring about equality in our society is Article 17, which declares that untouchability is abolished and its practice is forbidden in any form. So in this way I have completed the chapter Prejudice and Discrimination. Okay, this prejudice should not be allowed in our country in any way. Before judging people negatively, you must try to know about their qualities and skill, and if you come to know about their qualities and skill, definitely you will have some good relationship with those people, and in this way we can turn the society of our country a very harmonious society. Thank you very much. Have a good day.